15 poorest African countries with single women. Due to lack of men who love them. Do you think finding love is difficult? You're not alone. There are countries in Africa where countless single women are looking for love but can't find it. In this video, you'll explore the 15 poorest African countries where the lack of men willing to commit has left an unexpected gap in the love story of many women. Number 15. Kenya. Imagine a place where women have created their own village, living without men. Sounds like a story, but it's happening in Kenya. In the Samburu region located in north-central Kenya, there's a village called Umoja, which means unity in Swahili. This village was founded in 1990 by women who faced hardships like forced marriages and violence. They decided to come together and build a community where they could live safely and support each other. In Umoja, men are not allowed to live in the village, creating a sanctuary exclusively for women and children. The residents support themselves by creating and selling traditional crafts, such as beaded jewelry, to tourists. They also run a campsite for visitors to the nearby Samburu National Reserve. Did you know that as of 2023, there are about 27.8 million women and 27.3 million men in Kenya? That's roughly 500,000 more women than men. At the same time, poverty continues to be a pressing issue, with more than a third of the population living below $2.15 a day, which is the international poverty line. According to the World Bank, the poverty rate was 35.1% in 2023. But here's something even more surprising. Many Kenyan women are choosing to stay single. Some focus on their careers and personal growth, finding fulfillment outside of traditional marriages. Others have high expectations and prefer to wait for the right partner rather than settling down quickly. Number 14. Namibia. Namibia is a country in southern Africa with the second lowest male-to-female ratios in the continent. In 2023, Namibia's population was approximately 2.6 million, with about 1.35 million women and 1.26 million men. This means for every 100 women, there are only about 93 men. The biggest reason for this is that women have a higher life expectancy than men. In 2021, the life expectancy for women was about 68 years, while for men, it was around 64 years. Additionally, social and economic factors play a role. Namibia is considered a lower middle-income country with a GDP per capita of approximately $4,743 in 2023, or about $395 per month. Despite this classification, the country faces significant economic challenges, including high unemployment rates and income inequality. These factors contribute to labor migration patterns, where men often move to urban areas or other countries seeking employment opportunities, leaving behind a higher proportion of women in certain regions. Moreover, Namibia has made significant strides in promoting gender equality. In 2021, it ranked 6th globally in the Global Gender Gap Report, the highest among African countries. This progress has empowered more women to pursue education and careers, sometimes leading to delays in marriage or choosing to remain single, further influencing the demographic landscape. What are your thoughts on this situation? Leave your comments below. Number 13. Gabon. Gabon is a country located on the west coast of Central Africa, bordered by Equatorial Guinea, Cameroon, the Republic of Congo, and the Atlantic Ocean. It is known for its rich biodiversity, with vast rainforests, wildlife, and national parks, making it a haven for ecotourism. But not so long ago, women in Gabon were unable to make some basic decisions on their own. They needed their husband's approval to get a job or even open a bank account, and they were legally expected to obey their husbands. However, in 2021, the country enacted major legal reforms to enhance women's rights. These changes granted women the freedom to manage their finances, pursue careers independently, and participate equally in family decisions. While these legal reforms represent progress, the journey toward true equality remains ongoing. Deeply entrenched cultural norms and traditional practices continue to influence societal attitudes, often reinforcing outdated stereotypes about gender roles. Many women still face discrimination in various aspects of life, from the workplace, where female labor force participation remains low at 39.94%, to education, with only 56.8% of girls completing lower secondary school. Additionally, Gabon faces significant poverty challenges despite its wealth and natural resources, particularly oil. Approximately 33.4% of the population lives below the national poverty line, with poverty being more severe in rural areas where only 55% of the population has access to clean drinking water. Economic inequality remains high, and heavy reliance on oil has restricted job opportunities in other sectors, contributing to a youth unemployment rate of 35.7%. These economic hardships disproportionately affect women, adding further barriers to achieving gender equality. Did you hear about an African country where prices were going up so fast they doubled every single day, causing people to not be able to afford it? We'll tell you which one in a bit. Number 12. South Africa. South Africa, known as the Rainbow Nation, is famous for its stunning landscapes and incredible wildlife. But beneath its beauty lies a surprising and shocking social reality. Although men and women are almost equal in number, many women in South Africa remain single. In fact, about 49% of women in the country are not married. South Africa has around 1.7 million more women than men. Additionally, 42% of households are led by women. This is largely due to socioeconomic realities, such as higher rates of male absenteeism in families, or due to factors like migration for work or lower life expectancy for men. Cultural practices, such as the traditional bride price known as lobola, also play a role. It can delay or prevent marriages. The high cost of lobola, especially in a challenging economic environment, makes it difficult for many men to afford marriage, leaving many women single despite their desire to marry. Economic challenges further compound the issue. On average, women in South Africa earn 28% less than men, which explains why households led by women often face more poverty. Women also struggle more to find jobs. Almost 30% of working-age women are unemployed, compared to 25.2% of men. Number 11. Somalia. Somalia is a country in the Horn of Africa, in the eastern part of the continent, known for its rich cultural heritage and strategic location along key maritime trade routes. But today it faces widespread poverty, with more than half of its population living below the poverty line. According to the 2022 Somali Integrated Household Budget Survey, 54.4% of Somalis consume less than $2.06 per day. Poverty rates are especially high among nomadic populations, around 78.4%, and rural communities around 65.5%, while urban areas see a relatively lower rate of 46.1%. The situation for women here is one of the harshest in the world, with the country also holding one of the highest maternal mortality rates globally. 1 in 12 mothers dies from pregnancy-related complications. On top of that, 45% of girls are married off before they even turn 18, with 16.7% married before 15. Adding to these challenges, an estimated 99% of women and girls undergo female circumcision, or FGM, a deeply rooted cultural practice. Somalia has one of the highest fertility rates globally, with an average of 6.9 children per woman. Despite this, single women face immense challenges as societal and cultural norms tie a woman's safety and status to male protection, be it from a father, husband, or clan. For women without a clan network, the risk of insecurity is staggering. Gender-based violence is widespread in the country, with many cases going unreported due to cultural norms and lack of effective protection. Number 10. Ethiopia. Ethiopia, also located in the Horn of Africa, is where coffee was born. It's also one of the world's oldest nations, with a history that stretches back thousands of years. It's even home to Lucy, the famous 3.2-million-year-old skeleton. Despite this rich heritage, about 25 million Ethiopians live below 60 cents per day, struggling just to afford basic needs like food, clean water, and shelter. Roughly 80% of Ethiopia's population lives in rural areas. In these remote villages, life is tough. Only 5.8% of the population has access to clean drinking water. There's often no electricity, roads are in terrible condition, and medical care can be hours, if not days away. Many families must walk miles just to collect clean water, while others rely on unpredictable rainfall to grow the crops they depend on for food and income. Because jobs and educational opportunities are scarce in the countryside, many men leave their villages to look for work in big cities or even abroad. This leaves a startling number of single women back home, struggling not only with poverty, but also the challenge of raising children and tending to farms all by themselves. The women who stay behind aren't just waiting around. They're fighting to survive. They form self-help groups, learn new skills like weaving or pottery, and launch small businesses. But no matter how hard they work, they still face daily obstacles. Everything from droughts wiping out crops to the rising cost of living. They raise families, manage farms, and do backbreaking labor, all in hopes that someone, somewhere, might notice their struggle and help them out of poverty. Number 9. Nigeria. Nigeria, located in West Africa, is Africa's most populous country and one of its largest economies. Known as the Giant of Africa, it is a diverse nation with over 232 million people, comprising roughly 17% of the total population of the continent. The gender ratio here is approximately 102 men for every 100 women. Despite this balance, many Nigerian women face significant challenges in finding suitable partners. One contributing factor is the high rate of early marriages. About 30.3% of women aged 20 to 24 were married before age 18. This practice often leads to unstable unions and a higher likelihood of becoming single mothers. In fact, about 20.3% of women in the South region are single mothers. These women face considerable social stigma and discrimination. Societal perceptions often label them as promiscuous or irresponsible, leading to challenges in securing housing, employment, and social acceptance. They also face economic hardships, with many employed in vulnerable jobs lacking security and benefits. In 2022, 84.9% of employed women were in such positions, including petty trading, domestic work, subsistence farming, and casual labor in sectors like construction and markets. These vulnerable jobs often do not provide stable incomes, making it difficult for women to achieve financial stability. The average monthly salary in Nigeria is about 340,000 naira, or approximately $220. However, there is a significant gender wage gap, with men earning on average 26% more than women. This economic instability affects their mental and emotional well-being, leading to feelings of isolation and depression. Number 8. Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is a landlocked country in southern Africa. It is famous for its natural wonders, including Victoria Falls, one of the largest waterfalls in the world. Beyond its beauty, Zimbabwe's love story has an unexpected twist. There are far more single women than men, and it's not what you might think. For every 100 women in this beautiful country, there are only about 90 men. Over 776,000 women outnumber men, leaving many searching for meaningful connections. Why is this happening? One reason is migration. Many men leave Zimbabwe to find work in neighboring countries like South Africa, hoping to escape the country's economic struggles. In 2005, an estimated 80% of Zimbabwe's population was unemployed. In 2008, Zimbabwe experienced one of the worst cases of hyperinflation in history, with an annual inflation rate reaching an estimated 89.7 sextillion%. A sextillion is a very large number. It is 1 followed by 21 zeros. To get an idea about this inflation, prices were doubling approximately every 24 hours. By 2013, the Zimbabwean government's bank accounts were reported to have only $217 remaining, following an astronomical inflation rate of 231 million%, which severely devalued any reserves. Another shocker is that traditional beliefs often limit women's chances at love. Some women who focus on education or careers are seen as too ambitious by societal standards, which can make it harder for them to find partners. Meanwhile, the high unemployment rate means many men feel they can't afford to marry, leaving even more women single. Can you guess which country has the highest percentage of women in parliament in the world? It's in Africa, and you'll find out all about it soon. Number 7. Egypt. Egypt, located in northeastern Africa, is known for its Great Pyramids. But today, life for many young people there is far from great, especially when it comes to marriage. Nowadays, getting married is so expensive that many are postponing it or even giving up on it entirely. The cost of a wedding, averaging $10,000, is 55 times the average monthly salary of $182. Coupled with housing prices exceeding $200,000 for a modest apartment, it is overwhelming. With real estate prices rising 39.3% in 2024 alone, these financial pressures make marriage increasingly unattainable. Marriage in Egypt comes with a lot of pressure, especially for men. They're often expected to provide everything: housing, dowries, and wedding expenses. These expectations weigh heavily, especially in a country where youth unemployment is over 20%. Women aren't spared either. Many find themselves stuck between societal expectations and financial realities. For some, even if they want to get married, they simply can't find partners who are financially stable. On top of that, the legal system doesn't help. Men and women don't have the same rights in marriage and divorce. For example, men can divorce their wives with just a verbal declaration, but women have to go through complicated court procedures to do the same. This imbalance makes marriage less appealing for many women who worry about losing their independence or ending up in an unfair situation. At the same time, cultural shifts are happening. Young people, especially women, are prioritizing education and careers over getting married early. Many are exposed to global ideas through the internet, and they're rethinking traditional roles. They want to focus on personal growth and not rush into something as big as marriage just because it's expected. But this also comes with challenges. In more conservative areas, single women over 30 are often labeled as spinsters, which can be emotionally tough. Have you visited Egypt before? Tell us about your experience in a comment. Number 6, Uganda. Uganda in East Africa is a landlocked country known for its diverse landscapes, wildlife, and cultural richness. Its capital is Kampala, and it has over 45 million people. Uganda is another country where women outnumber men. Here there are approximately 405,000 more women than men, with just 98 men for every 100 women. This imbalance is particularly noticeable among educated and career-driven women in urban areas. Many of these women find it challenging to meet partners who match their educational background and ambitions. This situation has led to a rise in singlehood among Ugandan women, sparking conversations about societal expectations and the evolving roles of women in the country. Additionally, Uganda faces economic challenges, with a significant portion of the population living below the poverty line. In 2023, 60.2% of the people lived on less than $3.65 per day. Additionally, in 2022, vulnerable employment affected 82.2% of women, compared to 68.2% of men, indicating that women are more likely to be in precarious employment situations. Number 5, Malawi. Known as the warm heart of Africa, Malawi, a small landlocked country in southeastern Africa, is a country where kindness and community shine. But beneath this warm reputation lies a surprising truth. Many women are heartbreakingly single. In this small, landlocked nation, there are only 47 men for every 50 women. And the reasons behind this imbalance might shock you. Malawi is one of the poorest countries in the world. Nearly 70% of the population lives on less than $2.15 a day, according to recent World Bank statistics. This poverty drives many men to leave their rural communities or even the country, searching for work in cities or abroad, leaving entire villages filled with women who can't find partners. Adding to the issue is the prevalence of early marriages. About 46% of girls in Malawi are married before they turn 18, and 9% before age 15. These marriages, driven by economic struggles, often fail, leaving many young women divorced or abandoned. With limited opportunities for remarriage due to societal norms, they find themselves stuck in a cycle of loneliness. Malawi's women are among the most hardworking, managing farms, small businesses, and households. Yet cultural expectations often require them to rely on men for financial stability. When the men migrate or avoid marriage due to economic pressure, these women are left to shoulder the weight of survival on their own. Number 4, Angola. Angola is a country blessed with abundant natural resources, including oil and diamonds. It stands as sub-Saharan Africa's second-largest oil producer, following Nigeria, and is the world's fourth-largest diamond producer by value. Despite this wealth, a significant portion of the population faces economic hardships. As of 2019, approximately 32% of Angolans live below the national poverty line, with rural areas experiencing higher poverty rates. The Civil War, which lasted from 1975 to 2002, had a devastating impact on the population, resulting in over 500,000 deaths and displacing up to a third of the total population. In 2024, Angola's sex ratio was approximately 97.96 males for every 100 females. This imbalance poses challenges for women seeking partners, as the pool of potential male partners is reduced due to the combined effects of war casualties and migration. With Angola's wealth in oil and diamonds, how do you think they can better address poverty? Let us know in the comments. Number 3. Ghana. Ghana, a West African country, is one of the most culturally diverse countries in Africa, known for its vibrant traditions, breathtaking landscapes, and welcoming people. But beneath its beauty lies a story of inequality that affects millions of women every day. Ghana's population is approximately 30.8 million, with around 15.6 million females and 15.2 million males. Despite their significant numbers, women in Ghana face economic challenges. On average, they earn only 34.2% of what men make, placing Ghana as the second lowest in Africa for income equality, just above Mali. This wage gap is more pronounced in the informal sector, where women earn 58.7% less than men. Additionally, women are half as likely as men to own land and represent only 6% of the wealthiest individuals in Ghana. Educational disparities are another barrier. The 2021 population and housing census shows that over 1.2 million girls aged 4 to 17 are currently not attending school, and more than 37% of them have never been to school at all. Cultural factors also play a role in this inequality. For instance, some men who marry under the marriage ordinance, a legal form of Christian marriage, may still engage in other types of marriages. This often leads to women unknowingly entering a relationship with someone who is already legally married. Number 2. Burundi. Burundi is a small, landlocked country in East Africa, bordered by Rwanda to the north, Tanzania to the east and south, and the Democratic Republic of Congo to the west. In Burundi, women make up a slightly larger portion of the population, with approximately 6.66 million females compared to 6.58 million males as of 2023. Despite this near balance, many women find themselves single, not merely due to numbers, but because of deeper societal issues. A staggering 90.1% of women are in vulnerable employment, lacking job security and benefits, compared to 77.1% of men. The country's gross national income, or GNI per capita, is among the lowest in the world, at approximately $230 per year, less than $20 per month, and living expenses are less than $1 per day. Women often engage in subsistence farming and low-paying informal jobs like domestic work, handicrafts, food processing, and street vending, which often pay less than what men earn. This is because women usually have less access to tools, better seeds, and technologies that could help them earn more. Shockingly, 64% of children experience at least 3 deprivations related to food, health, water, sanitation, housing, education, or child protection. Furthermore, 85% of children lack access to early learning opportunities. Only 15% of grade 2 students reach proficiency in reading, and a mere 2% achieve proficiency in grade 4 French. Early pregnancies further complicate women's lives. In 2021, over 1,300 schoolgirls became pregnant, with some as young as 10 years old. Yet amidst these challenges, Burundian women are resilient. They hold 38.2% of parliamentary seats as of February 2024, striving for a more equitable society. Number 1. Rwanda. Rwanda is a small, landlocked country located in East Central Africa. Known as the Land of a Thousand Hills, it is characterized by its stunning mountainous landscape, lush greenery, and temperate climate. Can you imagine an African country where women hold the majority of seats in parliament? In Rwanda, women occupy an impressive 61.3% of parliamentary positions, the highest percentage in the world. Following the 1994 genocide, Rwanda experienced a significant gender imbalance. Approximately 70% of the population were women, as many men had died or had fled the country. This led to women taking on roles traditionally held by men, reshaping societal norms. The 2003 Rwandan constitution introduced a 30% quota for women in decision-making bodies, but women have surpassed this, holding over 60% of parliamentary seats. As a result, Rwanda has been among the top 5 most developed countries in Africa, with significant improvements in infrastructure, business environment, and technology adoption. In Rwanda, the average monthly salary is approximately $500, with most salaries ranging from $127 to $2,243, depending on the industry and experience level. In 2021, 48.8% of Rwanda's population, or about 6.57 million people, lived in multidimensional poverty, while another 22.7% were at risk of experiencing it. This means that nearly half of the population struggled with challenges beyond low income, such as limited access to education, healthcare, clean water, and decent living conditions. That's it for today. Don't forget to give us a like. Tap the screen to check out more videos like this. See you next time.